man working in a unique new field of medicine, community psychiatry.
So we've got to find new ways, and we're finding them. Ways of practicing community psychiatry, reaching out to whole groups of people by going out into the world where they are, without waiting for them to come into our office to find us. Ways like hotlines, walk-in clinics, group mental health projects, going to the people who need us, wherever they are.
Matt Lincoln, concerned, involved, dedicated. A man who cares about people. Get together with Vince Edwards as Matt Lincoln.
Linda, why aren't you with the baby? What's the matter, Linda? Where's Paul? Linda, answer me! Linda! Where's the baby?
It was so hot, Sheila.
What was hot?
It was hot. Linda! I just stepped outside to get a breeze. Polly!
Linda, where are we?
I don't know!
Please. It's a matter of urgency.
Why do you want to give up your baby?
Because I don't have a husband. Because I have to work. And I don't think it's fair to leave my son with all kinds of people. Only having a few hours in the evening to spend with him.
You talked about these problems before Paul was born. I gather that you figured you could handle them. Why have you changed your mind?
At that time, I thought Charlie was my biggest problem. And I felt that getting away from him would make it easier to cope with the baby. Are you going to help me find someone to adopt him?
You're not the first unwed mother in history, Sheila.
Please. I have to do it.
Why do you feel you have to? Sheila, when you made the decision to stop therapy, there were a lot of questions that hadn't been discussed.
Well, I don't feel like discussing them now.
I think you need counseling. Would you like me to arrange it?
No.
Are you going home from here? I'll give you a lift.
Thanks. Oh, you've never seen Paul. I'd like you to.
Sure, sure. Where's the baby now?
Some people called Bartlett. They live in the building. I hardly know them. Did I tell you I'm getting a raise?
Congratulations.
It's not much, just a few dollars. But it helps.
Same office you worked before?
Mm-hmm. I'm getting to like it better all the time. It used to be just another job until...
Until what?
Are you sure you don't want some coffee?
No, thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fine. Come on. You guessed, haven't you?
Tell me about it.
He came to work about a month ago. His name is Peter. I've never met anyone like him. I mean, there's never been anybody like him.
And it makes a difference to Pete that you have a baby.
I haven't told him. I start going out with somebody. And maybe he likes me, and maybe I like him. And I want to keep going out with him. Because it gets lonely not going out. And then sooner or later I have to tell them about the baby. Because it wouldn't be honest. And as soon as I tell them, it really didn't matter till now. Well, if Peter runs away like the other ones,
What makes you think he will?
I don't know.
Well, if he's special, Sheila.
He is. And I can't take the chance.
Dr. Garfield. Dr. Garfield.
Hello, Dr. Lincoln. Dr. Lincoln, this is Peter Harkness.
Hello, Dr. Lincoln. Pete?
Peter gave me a lift over here, and I've been wanting you to meet him.
I was a little worried about meeting you, Doctor.
Why, Pete?
Well, the only doctor I've ever known well was the one who took care of me when I was a kid. And every time I'd see him, he'd make me put out my tongue. And when Sheila told me what your specialty is, well, wow.
He's not going to analyze you, Peter.
Pete, excuse me, we have to cut this off now. Sheila, I can see you now for a minute.
See you later.
Now, what was that all about?
I'm sorry. But I didn't see any harm in it.
That doesn't answer the question. Now, we made a bargain and you broke it. You tried to manipulate Pete and me. You tried to set me up for something we talked about. And I specifically said I wasn't going to do.
Well, what can I say except I apologize and mean it?
You can tell me why you did it.
I don't know. Yes, I do. I hoped that if you were there, I might be able to get up enough nerve to tell Pete about the baby. And the minute I saw you, I realized what a ridiculous thought that was.
Now, what are you going to do now, Sheila?
What I have to do? What I should have done weeks ago.
Well, I wouldn't try it by assaulting their defenses directly. You just don't tell a neurotic to stop being neurotic. Doesn't help. Any other problems I can help you with?
You seem to be having one of your own these days, my man.
Just one? What one do you have in mind?
That girl, Sheila.
Well, there's an example of a problem that wasn't handled correctly the first time around. Now, when she got pregnant, we tried to get her to look at the alternatives an unwed girl has. And she grabbed at a fast solution and decided to keep the baby and raise it herself, without really appreciating what the difficulties involved would be.
Well, I think she showed a lot of courage in making that decision to keep the child, instead of rushing into something else.
Well, that may look courageous, Tag. But it isn't really in terms of the best interests of everybody involved. She didn't handle her feelings about getting pregnant in the first place. So the child is a constant reminder of that. Now it interferes with her relationships with men, which were never very good originally.
Aren't more and more girls deciding to go ahead and have babies without being married? Isn't the general attitude toward it changing?
Not much. A little among some celebrities or among the very rich. But when someone in the middle or low economic group tries it, she gets a very hard time from people around her.
Isn't she better off without the baby?
Oh, I don't know, Kevin. What I do know is that this is a girl who didn't solve the basic part of her problem, her relationships with men. And because she didn't, she's now running into more and bigger problems.
And she wants to give up the child for the wrong reasons.
That's right. Now, if she gives up the baby, she's going to have bad feelings about doing it. She could do something self-destructive, something to punish herself.
She keeps running away from things. How do you handle somebody who keeps running away from things?
Well, that's one we failed on, Kevin. Didn't get handled right the first time.
I thought I was in love with Charlie in the beginning. Now, especially since I met you, I realized that I didn't even know what love was all about. Charlie kept wanting to get married, and I kept putting it off.
One day I understood exactly what I was doing. I didn't want to marry him. It would have been dishonest. Terrible for both of us. But I put it off too long. I was pregnant, and I guess I was pretty desperate by the time I got to Dr. Lincoln. And if he had help, Pete.
Hi, Sheila. Come on in. Helen's gone to bed. But she said to tell you that Paul's been fine.
I hope I didn't keep you up.
Me? Yeah, I'm a regular night owl. Never get to bed before 2 or 3 in the morning. Want a beer?
No, thank you.
Did you have a good time? Where'd you go for dinner?
Mr. Bartlett, I'm kind of tired.
Oh, sure. I know what you mean. Big evening, huh?
If you don't mind, I'll just take the baby.
Oh.
And we'll go upstairs.
Let me give you a hand. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Don't be like that.
Go.
We'll get out of here. We'll go upstairs to your place, huh?
Go.
Come on. What kind of chick you are? What matters is you? Huh? What does it matter? Come on. What's the difference?
No! You filthy little... You rotten little snake.
You people on the hotline phones have a golden opportunity. When someone calls in for help, that's the time to start working on them. Now, if we get them solved early enough, we won't get into this kind of mess.
I'll get it. Hotline, Ann speaking. How old are you, Greg? 13? Help me. Please.
Sheila?
Please help me.
Tag.
I can't anymore. Oh,
Let's take the baby tag.
Where? Oh, no.
Come on, Sheila.
And what's the problem? Well, girl real trouble can be just as serious at 13 as 30. Suppose you tell me about it.
Here.
Thank you. I hate going to pieces. I hate acting like some kind of hysterical freak.
You're not a freak. You've had a rough time.
All I want in the whole world is to love. And to be loved. How square can you get him?
Well, if it comes down to that, how square can we all get?
Well, squaredom hasn't been working out too well for me, has it?
I still think it's a good idea if you talk to a counselor about it.
Maybe. But I just decided I'd rather not.
What else did you just decide?
Nothing.
Sheila, you've made decisions before that you hadn't thought out. And when the panic begins, you...
Well, I'm not in a panic now.
Kevin's off duty. Maybe he'd like to give you and Polly a ride home. I'll see.
Well, I don't think she intended to mention your name. She seemed, well, a little upset.
Sheila's been through a lot the last year or so, Mr. Fowler. And lately, things have been especially bad. What can I do to help?
Well, I'm not sure. These adoption cases are often tricky. But the minute Sheila walked in this office, well, I had a feeling about her.
That she really doesn't want to give up the baby.
A certain amount of reluctance is perfectly natural, as you know. Making the decision is one thing. But when a girl actually comes in to arrange it, when she starts to put the chips on the table...
Well, if she's really made up her mind, there's not much I can do to stop her. Even if I think she's making a mistake. But I certainly can try to talk to her.
Would you? I'd appreciate that. You understand, I'd like to be sure.
I'm sure, Dr. Lincoln. I've thought about it, and I'm sure. I know it would be wrong to keep Paul. People keep telling me to make mature decisions. Well, I'm making one now. I want my son to have a good home. I want him to have the things that I can't give him.
And you, Sheila, what do you want?
You think I'm not being honest? You think I'm giving Paul up more for myself than for him?
I don't know what you're doing or why you're giving up the baby. But I don't think that's your problem.
Maybe. But let me ask you a question. Do you think it's better for the baby to have a mother who's turning sour? Who's getting more and more bitter all the time?
I'm interested in why the mother's turning sour. Why she's getting bitter. I don't think you have to be bitter. And I don't think Paul is the reason.
I can't handle it anymore. I can't handle Paul or my life. I can't take care of him, and I think he'd be better off with somebody else.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I don't think getting rid of Paul will solve your problem. You seem to avoid trying to handle these things. I'd like to get you to a point where you can deal with it.
I'm not going back into therapy, Dr. Lincoln. I'm going to take care of myself. Thank you for your help. Goodbye.
Sheila, this is Mr. Jackson of the Social Welfare Agency. He has a document for you to sign in order to make the adoption legal.
It's a consent form. You sign here.
Could you tell me the name of the people who are going to take Paul?
It would be best for the child, Sheila, if you don't know the names.
Well, I just wanted to make sure they were good people.
Sheila, I thought you understood and had agreed. Once you leave this room and have signed that paper, it'd be better if you never see Paul again.
And you shouldn't know where he is. No, it's better that way. Really, it is. For everyone.
Oh, couldn't you even tell me what kind of people they are?
They're fine people, warm and generous. And they'll give Paul a very good home.
Are they young?
Yes.
What kind of work does he do?
Sheila, you've got to be sure. Absolutely sure. Now, if you're not...
Thank you. Good luck. I'll be in touch with you later.
Right, fine.
Could I see Paul once more before I go?
Of course. He's in the other office right through there.
Goodbye, Mr. Feller. And thank you.
What's on your mind, Pete? Sheila.
What about Sheila?
Well, I can't seem to get her off my mind.
Have you seen her?
Yes, but she won't talk to me. I've tried.
Well, what brings you here?
I just want someone to talk to, I guess. Well, you're the only one I know who knows her. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I love her. Sometimes I wish I didn't. I can't eat, can't sleep. That's what they call classic symptoms, isn't it? I love Sheila, Doctor.
Have you told her?
Lots of times, but it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Have you told her since she told you about the baby?
No.
Why not?
She won't let me talk to her. I can't get anywhere near her.
Well, what do you suppose that's all about?
I don't know. I just don't know. Well, maybe. The night she told me about her baby, it was, kind of tense.
She told me about that night.
Well, then you know she didn't let me say anything to her. She just blurted it out and split.
Well, did you try to stop her?
I told you she didn't give me a chance.
So what do you want to do now, Pete?
Look, I told you, I love Sheila.
So what do you want to do about it?
Okay. You know what's bugging me, so do I. But if I don't talk about that... She had a baby by some creep she wasn't married to.
And the night she told you about it, you keep
coming back to that.
Well, I keep trying, but you keep walking away from it.
I thought that... I thought maybe now that she's given up the baby that it wouldn't matter to me anymore.
How does it matter to you?
Do you know how I felt that night?
It's not unusual to be jealous, Pete. It's rough on you, something you need to understand better, but it's not unusual.
Maybe I shouldn't care about what she did or who she was with before she met me. But I do.
You know, you seem to talk about Sheila as though she were a piece of property.
How do you mean?
Well, you tend to deal with her as though she were an object, as if women came in two types, like cars, new and used.
Matt, visiting hours are over. Don't you know it's 2 a.m.?
Don't you? Come on. It's time for growing doctors to be in bed.
Why don't you take your own medicine?
Frankly, I've never been able to stomach it. Are you sitting up over things generally, or someone in specific?
Someone very specific. A girl named Sheila. I'm walking a tightrope with her. She's in a dangerous frame of mind. I could lose her.
Well, your record of success is very high. What are you worried about?
She's drifting.
What are you asking of her?
You know, that she face herself. If I can just get her to face facts squarely and take a hold of life again, chance of recovery are good.
What's her problem?
Guilt. She wants desperately to be forgiven for having a baby.
Who does she want forgiveness from?
A very tough antagonist. Herself. I could be asking too much. She may not be strong enough to cope.
Well, what's your alternative?
Give in to what she wants. Solve her problems. Tell her what to do. Give her a strong arm to cling to.
I've seen you give that strong arm many times.
Yes, and if I give it, it might make a cripple of her. What happens the next time she has a problem? I won't always be around.
There's your answer.
There's my answer. Which brings me face to face with possible consequences.
Which are?
She may be suicidal.
There was a girl once.
That time I thought Charlie was my biggest problem.
I loved her, but she wouldn't marry me. She left me and I was alone again. I beat Sheila up when she said she didn't want to see me anymore. I beat Sheila up.
You lied! Charlie was my biggest problem.
Sheila?
Been coming down for a long time. Changes coming down on me. Can't seem to carry them all now. Been wishing there was someone else I could be. Hey, now who really cares? Hey, won't somebody listen? Let me say what's been on my mind. Can I bring it out to you? I need someone to talk to, and no one else will spare me the time. The streets are dark and hanging down misty on bottle caps and scraps of paper fun. Been living on the outside for so long. Can't remember when I last saw the sun. Hey, now who really cares? Hey, won't somebody listen? Let me say what's been on my mind. Can I bring it out to you? I need someone to talk to, and
Suitcase full of stuff like that.
Did you try to stop her?
I was going to when she came out of the market, but she had this crazy look on her face, and it kind of shook me up. Well, by the time I got myself together, she was gone.
Okay, Pete, it can't be helped. Come on over here, would you? Could I speak to Mr. Fowler, please? Well, when do you expect him? Well, is there any place he can be reached now? Would you tell him Dr. Lincoln called, and when he comes in to have him call me at my office? It's quite urgent. Thank you.
You're a big fat phony, that's what you are. You heard what I said. A big fat phony.
Oh, God, I know just what you mean. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yes, right. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Fowler. Bye-bye.
He asleep?
Not yet. I'll check on him in a few minutes. Hello? This is Mrs. Donnelly. But they can't be. I was just put him to bed. Yes, right away.
Well, what is it?
I want a ticket, please.
Yes, ma'am. Where to?
I want to go to... What time does the next bus leave?
We got lots of buses, lady. Where do you want to go?
I want to go to... I want to go...
Are you all right?
Please.
Doctor, what do you think she's going to do?
I don't know, Pete.
Every time I think of her going into that house, and did she think that...
You sound as if you're feeling a little responsible for what she did.
Well, the way I acted did have something to do with it, getting her all upset and desperate like that.
You were doing the best you could, as you saw it at the time.
Yeah, but I didn't do a very good job, did I?
Pete, it isn't over yet. Now, you're still working it out for yourself. Maybe she will, too.
Subject with infant spotted in Westlake Park. Will investigate further. No sign of person answering description of sniper in vicinity.
There was a page or a
Well, Rick, the red you get at this party. I wouldn't know how. You wouldn't know
I think we were hotline. Kevin speaking.
You got a different cutoff point.
Could you talk a little bit louder? I can hardly hear you.
And that's when, you know...
What did you say?
Too much. Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't you tell me your name first, and then we can go on from there.
And once you pass...
No, you don't have to, but I kind of like to know who I'm talking to. Get him out. Tell him it's Sheila. What's the trouble? Why don't you tell me about it? Well, if you won't tell me your name, and if you won't tell me what the trouble is, it's... Look, why don't you start at the beginning? Sometimes just talking about it helps cut it down to size. Sounds to me like you're so worked up that it's hard for you to even speak.
You tell him, hey, man, like I'm not going to drop any...
Hello?
Hello? Hello? There's no one there. Are you certain it was her? Well, how does she seem?
Hotline, Ann speaking. Yes? Oh. Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. How long has it been going on? Why do you think you can't sleep, Stephanie? I know, insomnia's no joke. Now, have you talked to a doctor about it? How can you be sure?
Hotline, Jimmy speaking.
What is your name?
Hold on. It's for you.
This is Kevin. Yes, of course, Jonas. Of course I remember you. How's that problem of yours going over to the school?
I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Hotline Tax speaking.
Goodbye.
Could you hold on just for a second? I think it's her and she wants to speak to Kevin.
I'll get Dr. Lincoln.
Jonas, can you slow down a little bit? It's hard to understand you when you go so fast. Now, tell me. You're running away. Where are you now? Do you really believe running away is going to solve anything?
I'm sorry, Kevin's on the line right now. Can I help you? Probably another couple minutes. Oh, no, please, don't hang up. He'll be with you as soon as he can, but I'll stay with you until he comes on the line, okay? All right.
Do you have any idea where you'll go? Or what you'll do when you get there?
Oh, no, please, don't hang up. Look, why don't you tell me what the problem is? Okay, but hang on. And let me check and see how Kevin's call is going, okay? Look, I don't think I can keep her on the line much longer.
Now, look, Jonas, if you don't get on that bus, then you can stay and think things over. No, you don't have to go home until you're ready. I can give you the address of a place called the Odyssey House, and you can stay there overnight.
Sheila? Sheila, this is Matt Lincoln. Can you hear me?
I guess I knew you'd be there.
Well, where are you, Sheila? You know better than that. Is Paul okay?
He's okay. Doctor, I made a big mess of everything, didn't I? Now, don't try to reassure me. I know I did. I didn't mean to, but that's no excuse.
Sheila.
You were right. I never should have given Paul up. But I thought that if I didn't, I'd never... I was so lonely. Do you know I hate myself for that? And then trying to undo one mistake by making another. But I know what's best for the baby now, and I know what's best for me. Those people will take very good care of him. But I love him, Doctor. I love him so much. I'm gonna leave the baby now. Please tell Mrs. Donnelly that I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave him out.
Now, Sheila, listen to me. Listen to me. I don't want you to hang up.
No, Dr. Lincoln. I've talked too much already.
Kevin, get this into the works.
Well, what if she's gone?
She'll be somewhere. She's not going to do anything until Paul's safe. Let's go.
Hotline, Jimmy speaking. Oh, yeah, sure, just a minute. It's for you, Chief Wilson's office.
Okay, I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Hello?
Bye.
Matt, we found the baby at the beach.
We had a special place, the cliff at the beach.
I could be asking too much. She may be suicidal. Suicidal.
In a special place, the cliff at the beach, to the beach.
Sheila! Talk to her. Sheila, I love you. I don't know how to say it. I love you. I've never cared about anyone or anything more than... Sheila.
You think I'm no good? You think having Paul made me dirty?
Sheila! Listen to me, Sheila. What do you want to do a dumb thing like that? Not noble, not self-sacrificing, not even desperate. Dumb. You're not a dumb girl, Sheila. You said Pete thinks you're no good. But what do you think, Sheila? You think having Paul made you bad? Why should you think what you did was bad? Why are you trying to punish yourself? Why do you think you have to? Give everybody else a break. You made sure Paul was taken care of. Why don't you deserve as good a break as your baby? Sheila, listen to me. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Why should you think you're worthless? Whoever gave you the idea nobody cares for you? Pete cares. I care, Sheila. You chose life for your baby. Why not for yourself? All right, Sheila. It's going to be all right. Sorry to bring this problem into your lives.
Look, we love this child. I mean, if he was our own, we couldn't love him more.
I know.
You worried about Sheila. What about my wife?
Alex, don't. It isn't the same.
It's just not fair to take him away from us now. Look, the girl made a mistake. Let her learn to live with it. Why should we have to pay for it?
I agree with everything you're saying. Now, she did make a mistake. But when she realized what she had done, she would rather die than face life without her baby.
We have no right to keep them apart.
Yes, we do have right. I have a little piece of paper with her signature that gives us that right.
If you were mine, truly mine, I'd do just what Sheila did. I'd take him and run until I found a place no one could ever find us. He's a beautiful baby. He's so good. I know she must have great beauty and goodness inside her.
Miss Donnelly, there are other children who need parents badly. Now, if you'd like to look into it, I'll help you. Look, why don't you talk it over? Now, whatever you decide is the way it's going to be.
think I have.
Maybe I've learned too, Peter.
Can I give you three a lift?